Glock's first rimfire pistol, the G44. Let's check it out. Alright, so before we get into the features of the Glock 44 today, you want to ensure that the gun is unloaded and safe to handle. Remove the magazine, block the slide to the rear, visually inspect it, drop the slide, point the gun in a safe direction, press the trigger, and we're clear. Now look inside the box. Obviously we have your manual, have your pistol, one magazine, two magazines, 4 back straps, which we'll talk about later, cleaning rod, an adapter for the cleaning rod that's threaded that allows you to run patch through the barrel, cleaning brush, and an interesting thing about the Glock 44 is it does come with an adjustable rear sight and an adjustment tool that allows you to make adjustments as needed. Now your Glock 44 does come with 4 back straps. You have 2 with beaver tail options, medium and large, and 2 without beaver tail options, medium and large. And according to the manual, the large back strap adds 0.16 inches to the circumference of the frame, and then the medium adds 0.08 inches to the circumference of the frame. Now included in your retaining clip for your back straps is a tool that's used as a punch. To install one of these back straps, as you see I have one installed already, you would just push out your trigger housing pin, add your back strap on top of it, and reinsert that trigger housing pin. And now you have your beaver tail option added. Additionally, Glock does provide an additional trigger housing pin as a spare part. Standard fare on your Glock pistol is your tack or accessory rail that allows you to mount lasers or lights. But a cool feature about this pistol is having an ambidextrous slide lock lever, and also the ability to remove the magazine catch to the other side to accommodate both left and right hand shooters. Another thing you'll notice about the Glock 44 pistol is the addition of a loaded chamber indicator, which you see here. It allows you the ability to look down into the barrel to see if there's a round present. Also, you'll notice a flared mag well that helps aid in the reloading process. But the most noticeable feature you'll realize about this pistol is when you pick it up, how light it is. That's because Glock built this handgun on a standard frame, which is polymer, on a polymer slide attached to a reinforced steel base that has steel guide rails, which makes for a very light package. Undoubtedly, the Glock 44 has features that almost mirror the Glock 19. In fact, I believe Glock did this on purpose to offer a training alternative in the Glock 44 and a 22 LR. Putting these guns side by side, they're almost identical, featuring about a 1-inch slide width, about a 5.5 pound trigger pull, and both having a 4-inch barrel. The main differences between these two pistols is going to be the weight. Okay, so here we have the Glock 44. Unloaded, weighing in at 14.7 ounces, and the Glock 19 unloaded, weighing in at about 1 pound 7.8 ounces. All right, in field stripping your Glock 44, you're going to remove your magazine, pull your slide away from the frame about 1 inch, holding it with your right hand, pulling down your slide lock tabs, and releasing the slide forward. Press your trigger, comes apart very easily. Then you're going to remove your guide rod and recoil spring and your barrel. Now you're ready for cleaning. To reassemble, start with your barrel, recoil spring and guide rod. Put it in place there. Line up the rails with your tabs on your frame. Charge the weapon, function test. Pull your trigger, reset, good to go. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about the rounds that we used for this 1,000 round review. But first I wanted to show a few clips of the accuracy testing that we did at various yardages with this pistol. No particular ammunition named here, but we do have 3 yards here, shooting about 5 to 6 rounds in a group and going down range to see what shots and what size group we could get. Pretty tight little group there at 3 yards, but that's expected. Should have actually been a little bit tighter. Now here we are backing up to the 7 yard line, again sending 5 to 6 rounds and then going down range to see what kind of group we could get out of it at 7 yards. Threw one there, but not too bad of a group on some older eyes. But now we're getting into a little more difficult sight picture here at 12 yards. Again, 5 rounds, maybe 4 rounds. I'm not sure what the round count is, but just to see what kind of accuracy we could get out of the pistol at 12 yards. Going down range again to verify our shots. And as you'll see, my group began to spread. Another one thrown there as we roll back in our yardage. So at 25 yards, my point of aim and point of impact was no longer matching up. So I had to use the 6 o'clock hold, aiming at the lower 10% of the target to strike the general middle area of the steel. But at 25 yards, using the 6 o'clock hold, no problems. All right, so some of the ammunition we used in this 1,000 round review is here on the table, as you can see. I broke this down into 2 500 round count range sessions. Some of the ammunition I use is not on the table, so I'm going to go ahead and go through the list here. First trip out, we shot 100 rounds of 40 grain lead. We shot 100 rounds of Aguila Super Extra 38 grain copper plate. We shot 160 rounds of the CCI Mini Mag 36 grain copper plated hollow points. And we also shot 100 rounds of the Aguila Super Extra 40 grain lead. Second range trip, 300 rounds of the Federal Champion 36 grain copper plated hollow points. 80 rounds of the CCI Mini Mag 40 grain copper plated round nose. And 120 rounds of the Remington 22 Thunderbolt 40 grain high velocity round nose lead. Now, when I took the gun out for the first time, I did not oil it up. I did not lube it. I just gassed up the magazines with the ammunition, started sending them down range. First up was the Blazer 40 grain lead, 100 rounds, no malfunctions. Second up was the Aguila Super Extra 38 grain copper plated rounds, 100 count, no malfunctions. Third up was the CCI Mini Mag 36 grain hollow points, copper plated, and we started to have issues towards the end of that last round count. Getting just over 350 rounds, we had one failure to lock the slide back on the last round. And the final 100 rounds was the Aguila Super Extra 40 grain lead, and we had a lot of issues there. We had one failure to feed, one stovepipe, 2 failure to fire, and 3 failure to lock the slide back on the last round. Now, we know that 22 long rifle is dirty ammunition. I don't know if the gun needed a break-in period or if it just needed to be cleaned. So when I got home, I took the gun apart for field stripping, looked at it, and noticed how dirty it was around the extractor claw. It was gunked up really, really bad. So I went ahead and cleaned it up, put the gun away, got out to the range for my second range trip, hoping to have better results, and was really, really surprised. We did 300 rounds of the Federal Champion 36 grain copper plated hollow points, no malfunctions. 80 rounds of the CCI Mini Mag 40 grain copper plated round nose, no malfunctions. And to my surprise, with the Remington 22 Thunderbolt 40 grain High velocity round nose lead, notorious for malfunctions on some 22s. 120 rounds with no malfunctions whatsoever. Now, I don't know if the extractor claw just got too much buildup behind it and it was the reason for the malfunctions, but the second 500 round count trip was very, very pleasant, and I was very impressed. Overall, we put 1,000 rounds through this pistol. The first 500 rounds, we experienced 8 malfunctions. But after getting the gun home, opening it up, taking a look at it, and cleaning it, the second 500 rounds, we had no issues whatsoever. So the question is the Glock 44 worth it? Well, we tend to put value on things that we're interested in. I personally didn't have any bad experiences with this pistol. It ran pretty well after what I see as a break-in period, so I consider it money well spent. So all in all, I consider the G44 a great training tool to keep your skills up to par. Until next time, train smart, be safe, and stay prayed up. Steelshot signing off.